and Jumbo, the two hosts. If I may, I'm thinking that you chose the best thing if you like them nerd shows and all of these movies. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat. What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chat.
What up, Chip and Chaps? This is Chip and Chap Chat episode 80 and not 84.
83.
The next one is 84.
The next one
I
is
am
84.
Fu Ray,
And I am Chamba.
and we are two brown boys that like nerdy shit. So let's talk about some of it.
Let's do it. We normally start off with TV talk, but I figured we'd start off with like a general talk this episode. What has happened? We've got some things to talk about.
Yeah.
This Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. I don't know
That's
if you've
exciting.
got any plans. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I don't know if you've got any plans for it. Do you plan on going to your local comic shop to pick up anything?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Arcane and
Okay, that's your
just
actual your go-to
yeah, we didn't
shop,
we
right?
didn't look up what's gonna be available. We're just gonna see what's there when we get there.
Cool.
So I don't have anything in particular I'm gonna be looking for, but hopefully I'll be surprised by something.
I want to grab the Dragon Ball one.
There's a Dragon Ball
It's
one.
for Dragon Ball Super.
Interesting.
It's by
They make-
Viz.
They make a comic of it.
There's a manga, yes. There's a manga. So, like, you know how
Uh,
last year, how Viz did the One Punch Man? I think it was last year's one or the year before. For Free Comic Book Day, they released the One
Oh
Punch
yeah,
Man
yeah,
one.
yeah.
This year, it's
But
Viz.
it's like in comic book
Yeah,
format
it's
or
comic book
whatever.
Format, right. It's like a
Gotcha.
chapter that's released in comic book size. So that's why I think it's more.
Is it
interesting
color?
'cause- No, it's black and white.
Hmm.
I think it's black and white. I'm gonna pick up that one most likely. I thought I saw something else that I wanted to pick up.
I didn't even know they were doing a manga for
Super?
Super. I thought
yeah.
Super was just the
No.
cartoon.
They're doing a manga as well. Toriyama's writing it, and I forgot his name. I think it's like Toyotaro or something. He's doing the actual illustrations. Looks good. Looks good. They're kind of like the manga somewhat. They're streamlining the story of it, so they're skipping a lot of the filler, as you could say. So they're moving on.
Do you think that Dragon Ball stories would work not in the Toriyama style?
I think so.
Like if they put out an American comic of Dragon Ball,
Well, who's drawing?
like drawn in a Western style,
Depends who's drawing it.
um,
Like if you said 90s, like if it was released, because
No,
honestly,
now.
that would have been the best time. As in, by best, I mean that would be the most realistic time for them to do an American adaptation of Dragon Ball. Would be during the 90s when, like, say, Image and all the extreme type artwork.
right.
be
But that
popular.
would I don't want to see a live-felt Goku. That's
exactly,
terrifying.
It would be awful.
But-
can I see it now?
Yeah, like Stuart Eminem on a Dragon Ball Z book.
All right. Just see
But
how...
is that tight or is that weird because it's not in Toriyama
No,
style?
to me, as a fan, like, check it. There's different kinds of fans, obviously.
Right.
Some fans who would just die hard to the point where that's the only way you can depict them. Otherwise, it's wrong always.
Right.
You know. And there are others, like me,
Mhm.
who I like variation.
But like when you draw them in kind of a hybrid.
Right. It's closer to. It's not closer to his. It's. I have to take. Obviously, I take notes from what
Right.
Toriyama does because they're still I want them to still represent who they are, but
Right.
I'm not like copying the shape of the eyes or the shape of the nose
Hmm.
because it's those particular things that make his style.
But there's also something different to me when it's an illustration versus reading a comic.
Absolutely.
Like-
I would love to draw a 10-page comic of Dragon Ball. I want to. I want to just because I want to.
Maybe we should do like okay. If we did it as a scratch jam thing, where each person just submits like one page of a Dragon Ball thing in their own style.
Has to be
How
their
many
style.
how many people do you think would participate?
If we made it go for a month, if we get no submission, then that's pathetic. A month is a long time. Let's
It's
do
a long
this.
time, but I mean, because it's
One
kind of like
page.
coming out of nowhere, though.
It is coming out of nowhere, but we could say it stemmed from this episode of Chipper Chap Chat.
Right.
This is the launching point from it. You could do more than one page if you want, but the
But that
rule
again,
is
I'm like, it makes me think we should change the name.
Scratch Jams.
Yeah.
We can't shift it too much because that's what it's branded as now.
Yeah, it was branded, but it's attached to a thing that neither of us really participated in
I still
anymore.
upload there, but it wasn't
I
really a thing for a
upload
while
this,
either.
but that's what I mean. Like, we
Yeah.
could easily call it Chipper Chap Jams
You can if you like.
and attach it directly to the show. I feel like a lot of the people who listen to us probably also participate in those things.
We'd like to assume.
I would assume, yeah.
I would hopefully. It's always nice to get a DeviantArt comment that says I like the episode. I'm like, yeah, we got a listener.
Yeah, somebody watches this shit.
Yeah, it's like it's not just for us, even though it is.
Right.
It's just it is. It's an extension.
I think that'd be
I'm
fun.
down for a jam for a single.
I
I'd
think
do a single page.
we've never done a sequential thing.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
And I
But
feel
the thing
like
is, also,
even
we're not even sure if people are interested in doing sequential pieces as a thing mainly.
which also makes me think like maybe if we put up the bones of panels, like
Yes.
we put a thing up with set gutters, maybe we put even up 3. Choose one, do a page of Dragon Ball Z something or Dragon Ball anything. But it has to
it's
be in your own.
specifically Dragon Ball and it's specifically your style.
Right.
Because that's my. I'm not sure if we've ever recorded anything before, and I'm sure it might have brought it up in the discussion. But whenever I see on Instagram, whenever I'm browsing Instagram and I see Dragon Ball fan art, the thing that kind of it doesn't bother me to the point where I'm just like the skill is there, but I don't see you pushing it anywhere. Is when I
Right.
see someone drawing Dragon Ball fan art and they're emulating the Toriyama style. There's like 1 or 2 that are amazing though. And there are a majority of them though aren't, you can tell that they're just copying. Because I feel that some that draw it in that style now, that's actually just their style at this point.
Right. Hit Kuro
What's he doing?
freaking out over his toy he found. Go do things with your life, cat.
Keeping that in. Yeah, so it'd be nice to see the characters depicted in a different style. Like, what was that? What's his name? I keep forgetting his name that draws those wicked fan arts.
I can never. I know who you're talking about, but
Yeah,
I can
you
never
know what I'm
remember
talking about. How
the
they're
super
like,
cinematic.
yes,
thing.
they're like some of the best fan arts I've seen.
I can't. There's nothing soft enough to throw at him.
Yeah, they're like some of the best fan arts I've seen of Dragon Ball, or of most things that he draws. And you know who the characters are, but they just look so damn good.
Right.
I
like,
want to see that.
I would love to see that Advent Children style Dragon Ball
Yeah,
movie.
give me that movie. After watching Gantz O, give me a Dragon Ball film or whatever anime film in that quality.
Right. And I'd love to read specifically a book about Dragon Ball in that dude's style. But I feel like that dude's style is very special.
Okay, I've got an idea.
What's
In
that?
terms of the jam, we can pick 3 pages that have already been drawn from the book itself,
And reinterpret
and
them.
redraw those pages in your style.
I like
Reinterpret
that
the page,
idea.
because at least that way there's a ground, there's a basis for us to follow. We'll pick
Right.
iconic pages, like say the first time Goku went Super Saiyan,
Right.
or something like that, and depict that page in like redraw that page just in
Right.
your own style. Don't copy
Yeah.
the style.
Right.
You can copy the
I
layout,
like
copy
that
the
idea.
format,
Mhm.
copy the format, but just do it in your own style. I want to see
Let's do
that
Let's
because
do it.
I'm down for that completely.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It would just be fun in general, I feel.
Mhm.
But Free Comic Book Day, I want to get that book, the Dragon Ball book. There was another one that I saw. I think there was like a Tick book. I grabbed last year's Tick book, and that was funny. So I'll look for that one too.
Mm.
And the Street Fighter book, because I want to see my stuff in print again.
Right.
That one's free. And that one's the wrestling book, so hopefully it printed out well.
Well, hopefully I get there early enough to grab
Yeah.
one of the wrestling books.
Yeah. It's a wrestling issue as well, so.
And you just got done with the Comic-Con as well, right?
Yes, Supanova Comic Con just happened. It was the first Supanova I guess the first Comic Con this year for Melbourne.
Mhm.
They changed it around, kind of like, you know how you were talking about how Emerald City, how the artist alley was shifted to the top floor.
Right.
Here, they moved the artist alley and the guest signings and all of that to the pavilion, which is like a bit like away from the main building. There's multiple issues that I spoke to a bunch of the artists in the alley, and from that, and from my own experience, there's a few things. Like, it's good. The space is nice, very, very spacious. Lots of space for tables, lots of space for people. We get some decent traffic there. There's 3 issues though. First issue, no signage outside. As in, not one signage outside.
Weird.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
So you just had to know the Comic-Con was happening?
Exactly. You had to know that there was a separate area for the alley.
Right.
Because this is from what I gather, the only people that knew of the alley section was the people getting signatures and photographs from the guests. And they just knew that was the area because the guests. They probably didn't know that was the alley altogether.
Right. They were just going there for autographs or whatever.
Right. And then they're like, oh, the alley's here. So they need to fix that, because I reckon people who just went to the show floor itself just thought that was it.
Right.
No signage outside, so they really need that. They need to fix that. Because it's pretty easy to just have big signs pointing this way to Artist Alley and guest signings. Just a strip along the side, no problem. Like a vinyl, print on vinyl, just have a long strips, even have a couple signs. Second issue was they need to have portable potties for that section. Because the closest toilet was a walk away. You have to walk down a bunch of stairs to get to the closest restroom. Yeah. Normally they hold events at this pavilion, but what those events normally do is they would actually have a row of porta potties outside for it. Because this is the area that we were actually situated at. It's a pavilion area, so they would actually do eats. Like, they would have serve food and stuff in those places. And those events tend to have a bunch of portable potties outside. So they need that. That's very important. Having to walk a distance just to go, like, imagine you were busting.
Right.
Not gonna be pleasant at all. At all. So that was awful. And the third one was, it was more of a minor problem, this one, but it's still an issue. They gave out these lunch orders. So like a chart with the pricing of food and stuff, so that, and so you can mark it, so that instead of having to go to the actual area to buy food yourself, you don't want to leave your table. Somebody will actually come pick it up and stuff, and then deliver it to you. Now they gave you the sheets, but no one came to pick up the sheets.
Gotcha.
So that's like you were halfway there.
Right.
You're halfway there. You're halfway there. So you kind of need to fix that. Yeah. But otherwise, the show was good. Speaking to people, the turnout was mixed bag. Because it's in a new place, I feel that they need to rearrange how to format the artist alley now. Because now it's
how it's actually laid out.
Yeah, how to lay it out. Because the way they have it now, the entrance was in one section, and the guest signing was in the other, right? Now, and the rows were going down this way. There was a couple of rows of artist alley, so facing in, facing out, and all that type of stuff. Now, because the entrance is here, there's actual other entrances down here, but those are blocked off. So these were the main entrance. So they'd go down here to get the signings over here. And they would go through the artist alley around this section. But
Right.
the people in the outside, dead. I was in the outside.
Gotcha.
I was in the guest section because I was actually one of the guests this year.
Mm-hmm.
Paid for my table, but I managed to get a guest spot because I've been a regular, so they just gave me one of the ones. And they assumed, like, oh, if you're in the guest area, if you're in the guest section, you'll have a decent turnout.
Right.
Because you're in the outer layer, no one really goes there.
Weird.
Yeah, so a lot of the people in the center area, the center artist alley section, they got pretty decent business. Pretty decent. Some hit and miss, but mostly they sold enough. A lot of the outside ones, barely anything. I was tabled with my mates Chris and Luke.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done a show in a long time. They did terribly.
Oh, yeah?
I felt so bad for them.
Wow.
It sucks because I'm like, it sucks. It's awful. Because you want the best for all the people that you're around, right?
All right.
A lot of people stop by to talk, but nothing. And I'm just like, this is disheartening. Luckily, a mate of mine, Dre, dropped by on Sunday, and he dropped us off some burgers
All right.
from his from the burger joint.
Nice.
So that lifted our spirits a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot, actually. They're delicious. But otherwise, for a first show, it was fine.
But next time they need more advertising.
They need the signs outside, and they need the portable parties, and they need people to pick up the lunch orders. Those are just the three major things that they need to fix. In terms of the layout, that's something you can gradually update because, you never know. It's something that they just tried out for this year. It's their first time, so hopefully more improvements as they go along. But
Right.
we'll see what happens. That's it for general talk, though. First, we'll go movie talk first.
Okay. Well, I know some of you people out there who have been following heard us make references to wrestling things.
Some people actually even ask for more wrestling stuff.
All right. So this next story is of particular interest to us, I guess, because we're fans. But there is a Vince McMahon biopic in the work called Pandemonium that TriStar, and it's being produced by WWE.
Yeah. Have you heard anything about the actual script, though?
I've heard speculation only on what it could be, but
I've heard, like, because there's supposedly some talk about it, and it doesn't seem like a true biopic.
Right, like it's in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Like, the pretend story of who Vince McMahon is. That's hilarious, and I will totally watch that movie.
To me, I think they should do kayfabe movies.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I mean, I've been saying they need to use those characters as their characters for real.
Absolutely, not your biopic.
Don't
you the person. You're the character.
I don't think they should be making Marine 5 and that kind of thing. They should be making WWE movies about the characters when they're
Undertaker.
not in the ring. Right, like, but them like existing in the real world.
Yeah. Them.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
if this
weird.
is the first in a series of that,
right?
Sign me up.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
I'd love to see like an in-canon story.
Right.
Of who the character is, why he's the Undertaker, what is.
Because, as much as I'd like to see, like, a movie about Vince doing, like, the Monday Night Wars and all the behind-the-scenes...
That's a documentary.
But, yeah, they've got hours and hours and hours of footage and interviews and all kinds of stuff about that. It would be neat to get, like, a weird kayfabe movie.
That would be rad.
It'd be very interesting. Like, if they make him what his character is in that, like, Camp WWE thing.
That's why I enjoy those shows.
Right, I would love that.
Because they're, like, not even really them, but they are supposedly the character that they are portraying.
Right.
I'd watch it. This seems interesting, though.
So anyway, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Next up, there's actually a first trailer for The Dark Tower.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Dark Tower?
All I know is Stephen King novels, and they're very popular.
I know that they were turned into comic books. Yeah, and I got the first issue of it.
Did you like it?
not particular, like nothing grabbed me about it. It was also drawn by,
Jay Lee?
uh, is that his name? I just
Is
know
it
his
Jay Lee?
style is really the one where he's got like almost all spot blacks all the time, and it's like sort of realistic shapes.
Hmm. I think it is Jay Lee.
Yeah, it's one of those. I always used with the dude that draws all the Transformer shit. He draws
Pat Lee.
like Pat Lee, yeah.
Pat
I
Lee.
was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
confused. Uh, but yeah, so it was drawn by him, and it was kind of interesting looking, but it didn't really grab me. I don't really like that kind of thing when I go to comics, but uh, so the trailer came out for that. Idris Elba.
What do you think
Uh,
of the trailer?
I don't know, because it's nothing like I remember the comic looking or being like tone wise.
See, it
Uh,
kind of sucks that we're talking about this because we kind of know nothing about. It's kind of good and bad
right, like they
because
get an outsider's perspective for
right,
sure.
right. Like our perspective is like your perspective is an outsider's perspective, but you've
Right.
read the book. Mine is a complete outsider's perspective because I didn't even read the book.
Read the book.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like a free comic book day
Okay,
thing.
right. Speaking, that's a nice link.
Right. But I really think that's how I
Mhm.
got it, the first one.
Okay, because
And
yeah, because you wouldn't have like something like you wouldn't have bought that on
no,
your own.
it's not something I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
interested in. But I just remember kind of looking at the artwork and being like, it's kind of interesting. It's a lot of in the desert. There's
Mm.
lots of mountains and shit around, and
Mm-mm.
spooky looking glowy eye guy. None of that of stuff that I remember is in that trailer.
But the trailer
Other
alone, what
than
did you think of the trailer?
it looked
Based on the trailer, would
like
you watch it
it
based on a trailer?
maybe, but to me it doesn't look better than like a Seventh Son or a Vin Diesel fucking witch hunter movie.
Do you know what's messed up? If fans of
Uh,
Dark Tower heard you say that, they'd be like, "You, yeah." And you know what? That's what you know. I was laughing as well. I'm on
uh,
the same boat.
yeah, it
It
does.
doesn't
I
look any. It doesn't look any more impressive than a
right,
film that has already been done. Kind of like again, like
right,
you brought good examples, like Seventh
yeah,
Son, like
right. It seems like that kind of
like
a thing,
the last witch hunter or whatever the last
right?
whatever it
And
was.
I don't know. I don't know the characters enough to be like, oh, Idris Elba, what a great choice, or what a weird choice. I don't feel any way about it. I like Idris Elba, I guess,
He's
but
cool, but I don't love
him
him
by
like others
himself
do.
isn't enough to like
Yes,
make me go see a thing.
absolutely. Like him as
Uh,
part of a bigger cast,
right.
as an
I think
ensemble.
he adds to any cast he's
Yes,
in.
absolutely.
I just don't think he's enough of a draw by himself to make me go to a thing.
Who is a
And
big draw for you to go solo though? These days, anyways. Are there any at this point? I'm trying to think now if there is any at all. That is
the
a large
last one
enough
I can
draw.
remember having that definitely isn't the case anymore because I mean, he really didn't really make any movies. Like when Jackie Chan movies and
Oh, right,
Jet Li
right, yeah.
movies came out, I would always go.
Okay, no, you have a good point because those were the action
Right. You
stars.
knew what you were
Yep,
getting when
exactly.
you go to those. But I've never been like a oh shit the new Tom Cruise movie is
Right,
out. I
or
need
like
to
the
I'm
the
not
new
that.
Keanu Reeves movies out.
Right. I like movies that those guys are
Yes,
in,
agreed.
and, but it's not necessarily like I'm going to see this
Right.
because Keanu. I mean, to some degree, John Wick was that because
But
I didn't know what that movie really was, other
right,
than it's a guy who shoots people. That movie easily could have been just another Taken movie or some shit like that.
just another exact Taken or like what is that movie? The bold one with the barcode thing.
Hitman,
Hitman
yeah,
could have been
some
another
it,
Hitman.
it could have easily been something like that. So,
Yes,
so to some degree, I'm going on the faith of I like Keanu Reeves and
yes,
shit. I like the
right,
Matrix movies.
right,
I'm gonna
right,
see
right.
him. Like I went and saw that samurai movie he did because it was him in a samurai movie,
Keanu
Ronin
Reeves.
47 or something like that. I don't
Oh
even
yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
what it was called. Uh,
That wasn't bad.
it wasn't bad. It was weird because it's Keanu Reeves in a samurai movie,
Right, but it was a fantasy film.
but it's a fantasy
Yeah, yeah.
movie,
So it's a little bit
and it was
better.
kind of cool for what it was. I
Yeah,
kind of want
dude.
to watch that
I
again.
do
Matter
too.
of
As soon as
fact,
you said that, I was like, I want to watch it again because I remember when I did watch, I was like, this is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, there was some cool
Yeah,
shit
no,
in
there was
that
a
for
lot of
sure.
cool shit in
Like
there.
he fought like a big ass
Yeah,
creature
okay,
thing
all
in the
right, I'm
beginning.
gonna
I
take
was
no,
yeah, we gotta
I'm gonna
watch
watch
that
it. I'm gonna
movie.
watch it. We should do a review. We should do a commentary when I'm there.
Right, that would be
We should
hilarious.
do a
Yeah.
bunch of commentaries when I'm there. Actually,
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah, that'd be good.
Um,
But they're like, I don't think there's any actor right now, like solo actor, where I'm
right,
like, okay, I need to watch that film because that actor's in it.
right. Because in my head, I'm like the Marvel guys, but I'm like, no, I'm the Marvel is the star that
That's
I'm
exact.
going to
That's no.
see.
That's exact. Like, because we would have said when you said John Wick, and I'm like, no, no, it's not Keanu. It's John Wick.
Right.
It's the
Now it
character.
is.
Yeah,
Now it is.
that's what I'm saying.
But before I had seen
Right.
it, I was
Hmm.
kind of going on the faith of I like Keanu.
Right. Right. Like, I'm sure
But it's
some
not
people.
like he's got that he's got two other movies that came out recently, like one where like girls come over to his house and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
beat him
Yeah.
up or some weird
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
like that,
Hmm.
and something else too. But it's I'm
He's got
not
a.
gonna
He does
automatically
a
go
couple
see those
films. Yeah,
because
that's what I'm
he's in it.
saying. He does a couple of films. Like same as the Tom Cruise. Like you brought up Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is that type of actor where people would go to watch it. Same as like Ryan
Right.
Gosling and shit like that. Vin
For
Diesel
sure.
even. You know, Rock.
For sure. Yeah.
The Rock might be one of the closer ones these days, to be honest.
Not for me still, because
Like
I'm
closest. I'm
I
not saying he
still I'm not
is.
going to see that fucking Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh no, no. But see, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of reasons why I'm not watching Fast and Furious, and the main reason
Right.
is Vin Diesel. And
Yeah.
honestly, when you listen to reviews on that, they're like, he's not even the strongest part of that film is Jason Statham and The Rock.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
essentially those two are the
Their
characters you're
their
watching.
stuff is the only reason why I'm mildly interested. But
Right.
then I saw a preview, and The Rock drove next to a torpedo or something, and literally physically threw it with his own arm and blew something up with the torpedo.
Because
And I'm like,
Royce.
I'm not paying to see that
Because
shit.
Royce, they're superior. Because we have to understand now, they're
Right.
all heroes. They're all
I
superheroes now.
get it. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't.
And that's
I'm not attached to anything about it
that's
enough to
exactly what I
care.
was gonna say. I'm like, you know what superheroes I'll follow? The
Right.
Marvel ones and the
Yeah.
DC ones
Marvel
if they're
ones,
good.
DC ones,
Yep, the actual
the
superheroes.
anime ones.
Yep, all them superheroes I'll follow. It's like, but why can't you believe Vin Diesel, the mechanic, a mechanic can fucking can beat the shit out of like Marines because he's a mechanic.
To me, it's like I'm not even factoring in
Uh,
those things when I'm watching those
see, you're
movies.
not even
I
just like,
just don't give a shit
yeah,
about anything or anyone involved. I don't care that they say their family every 20 minutes. It gets annoying to me. I just don't care about any of them.
yeah.
I like Tyrese's character and fucking Ludacris's character
Yeah.
probably the most out of all
Give
of
me
them.
a movie with those two.
Yeah, just make a side movie with them that's like Bad
Uh,
Boys or something. I'll watch
Shit,
that one.
I'd probably. I'm not. I don't know about cinema. I
Yeah, I
don't.
don't know.
Yeah,
I'd
no.
have to see a
You
trailer,
pop it
but
on Netflix. I'll watch that.
yeah, yeah, do the Netflix
Do a
spin-off.
Netflix spin-off. I'll
Okay.
watch that.
Yeah,
Um,
why?
there's not a lot of films like. There's not a lot of actors that you would be like, ooh, I'm
Not
down.
me, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that they're there.
Oh no,
Like
no, they
Will Smith
exist.
is that for people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shit, Jason Statham is that for
Jason
people?
Statham. Yeah, I just don't have any personal
No,
attachment to
yeah, no. Likewise,
actors.
there's no actor right now. I'm like everything that they show up in, I'm gonna
Right.
watch in the cinema. It's more about
Yeah.
character and story now at this point.
Right. When I
Like,
was a kid, it was just the martial arts guys. If
mm-hmm.
there was martial arts
Right?
or
No,
like Chris
you,
Farley movies, I
yes,
would
yes,
go.
exactly, exactly.
But that was pretty much it. Like I get like Adam Sandler movies
Yeah,
for a while.
and that
I've
was a
lived
while ago though. That was a
yeah,
while ago. Yeah, yeah,
that was a long time
yeah, yeah.
ago. I
That was a
think
long time
Mr.
ago.
Deeds was the last one where I was like,
Yep.
I don't think I need to see every one of them after
Mm-hmm.
this.
But I enjoyed most of them up to that point. Like I enjoyed Little
I
Nicky, I
like a
enjoyed
few of them
Waterboy. Yeah,
after,
yeah. Yeah, I think
but
it's
I
come
think
to
that
that
was when
point.
I was like, not
Young.
all of
Well, we
these are
were
gonna
younger
land
though.
me. For
We were
sure,
much
for
younger then,
sure.
so you know. But yeah, like there's no real actor now that can kind of pull me in. So I know, like with the Dark Tower, people are interested in because they see the all right, it's Idris Elba. They like Idris Elba, so they'll watch it, or they'll like the property of the Dark Tower,
Right,
or
right.
they'll like they love Matthew McConaughey, so they're gonna check it out. So those are factors that are going to make people want to see this. Now, based on the trailer, strictly based on the trailer, it looks fine.
It looks fine, but
looks fine.
it reminds, just based on the trailer, it kind of reminds me of what's that movie where they stuck Jet Li and Jackie Chan in it together? It was like the
Forbidden
Monkey
Kingdom.
King and shit. It kind of reminds me of
Forbidden
that,
Kingdom. Yep.
but instead of going to China World, he goes to Western World.
Because Westworld is popular.
Right. I go to Western World where like the devil is a bad guy and the gunslinger is the good guy, but it's basically just the tropes of westerns,
Yeah.
like amplified times 100
Yep.
and put into this world.
I don't
That's
know.
all fine, but
Yeah,
it doesn't make me go, "Whoa, shit! I need to see that."
I think it's because I think for the people who are definitely familiar with the property are very
Right.
excited about this, and I'm glad for
Sure.
them. You know, it's great that they're excited about a film that's going to come out, which has been in the works for such a long time.
Right.
So,
But the trailer by itself, without any context or care,
Yeah.
wasn't enough to change that for me.
No.
But that trailer, maybe some more shit will come out,
Do you
and some
think,
of the action is
like,
bananas or something.
how bananas can it? It needs to be
Some
super
gun stuff is
bananas.
cool. Like
I
if they
guess.
could do John Woo type gun shit, but
I
like,
guess.
I mean, they showed him like catching bullet like spindles out
Yeah,
of the
that was
fucking
pretty
air,
sick.
and that's cool.
He loads
I
his
don't know
gun just like
how or
he loads his
he
gun
did
like
that or
that. Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, neat.
yeah.
Still
I
using a
mean
revolver.
that's interesting
Yeah.
in it on its own,
Right.
but that by itself is not enough for me to pay $30 to go see it.
Right. Ticket prices, man. Like, I'm gonna have to love that film if I'm gonna go again.
Exactly. Anyway,
But
next up, Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner are cast as Timon and Pumba in the remake of The Lion King, and the release date was announced, but you didn't write that down.
No, I didn't realize I didn't realize the release date was. I didn't write down the release date thing because I didn't know that was announced.
You wrote that it was announced. It says release date announced. Right
I didn't
there.
write that down.
Did I write that?
You did.
I
Yeah. I didn't write when I opened up the file. I was like, oh, Royce added some stuff. Cool.
I must have been tired of
Yeah,
shit.
that's fine because I didn't even know that they were cast at all.
Well, anyway,
Timon and Pumba, huh?
Timon and Pumbaa. So Seth Rogen is Timon, Billy Eichner is, or no, opposite of that. Seth Rogen is Pumbaa,
Yeah.
Billy Eichner is Timon.
I can see that.
Apparently, he does the Billy on the Street videos or something.
He was also in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
That's
So,
how I'm familiar with him. So
if you are familiar with that dude,
yeah,
and he makes sense as a Nathan Lane, which
I
I've
guess
seen
he
a couple
could, yeah.
Billy on the Street videos, and it kind of makes sense to me
Yeah,
for
it
the
does
talk
make
voice.
sense.
I don't know what he sings like,
Oh,
but I'm
that's
sure he
right.
can figure it out.
Are they singing?
Dude, if they don't sing Hakuna Matata, it's not The Lion King.
There's so many things
It's
with this
just
film.
it's just the Jungle Book 2. If it
Yeah,
doesn't
it
have
is.
music, it's the Jungle Book 2.
This film is gonna be something interesting.
I mean, they got Guy Ritchie doing Aladdin, so I think interesting is what they're going for.
All right, we'll see what happens, man.
Speaking of that, supposedly King Arthur is like actually good.
Is it?
That's what I'm hearing. It's
I'm
like
gonna-
surprisingly good. So
Well,
I'm thinking about going to check it out.
He did do the. I know a lot of people enjoyed him. They were fine. The Sherlock Holmes films. That was him.
I like those, but
Yeah.
it's to me. I just don't sword and sorcery shit.
I
It's
know, you're
so
not big on
hard
sword and
for me to
sorcery.
give a fuck about it.
Is there like
It's
a
got
cheap ticket day for you in the US?
maybe
Because
I
we got
don't
like
know.
a cheap ass Tuesdays here.
Right? I don't know.
So
I don't think. I don't
by
even know if they
cheap ass,
do
I mean
matinees
it's
anymore.
slightly cheaper. Its
Right.
prices are stupid here. But if I hear decent things, I'll catch it on a Tuesday.
Right.
Because I am interested. Like, I see a trailer and I'm like, it looks cool. And I do enjoy a good sword and sorcery film. It's been a while since I've seen a
What's
good
the
one.
last one? What's the last one? A Lord of the Rings something or
Sure,
other?
yeah, I guess the Lord of
I'm
the Hobbit, the second Hobbit
so
film
one
is
of these
maybe the
days
most
I'm gonna
recent.
go on a tangent about how those movies are boring.
Yeah, because there's no, but you're not wrong there though. You're really not wrong because the only parts, honestly, that are highlighted in my head from those films are the action parts, and those are very very short parts
I
in
remember
films that are like 3 hours long.
I remember Legolas jumping off of like elephants
Yeah,
and
how cool
shooting
was that? I was
shit, and
running on an
that was
elephant.
cool.
Yeah,
That was cool, but that's the only fucking thing I
yeah.
remember from that
that
entire
that
movie.
lasted a
And
minute.
they stand on
Generous.
giant trees or something. Oh.
They do on the shoulders of giant Groots.
Anyway,
That's it for
let's get
movie
to this
talk.
TV talk because
TV talk
this stuff
is.
is kind of more interesting to me.
We'll start with the second one first.
Yeah. So the first promo image of
Mm.
Hulu's Runaways series was released, showing the main cast members.
Yes.
And shortly after that, a teaser trailer was leaked from some sort of conference or something. I don't know what the event was, but somebody came out on stage and it's like a cam video of the teaser
Marvel
trailer.
Hulu.
So I don't know how familiar you are with Runaways in general.
You
I know
are
I
more
tried to
so
make you.
than me. Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I'll read it when I get there, but because you've got like all the collections, you've got majority of the
Yeah.
collections. Yeah. Um, I know of the characters. I don't know. I know of the premise, but I'm not
Right.
into it as much as you were.
I loved Runaways. That was
Yes.
probably my favorite book that was being put out at the time that it was being put out. So I have a lot of expectation
Right.
that I am trying to stifle to
Yes.
some degree because I know that a lot of the ideas are very large and probably way too large for
A
a
TV to
Hulu
handle.
budget.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful, but the teaser trailer didn't
Oh,
really show enough of that stuff for me to
let's go on
engage.
the promo photo first. From the
Okay,
promo
so
photo.
the promo photo to me automatically is cool
Yeah.
because it's a recreation
Yes.
of the first cover.
Mm.
And they got a lot of the looks right.
A lot of
The
them.
only
Yeah.
character that I think that they didn't nail on the promo image was
Yes.
Molly.
Yes.
But
But
in the leaked trailer,
yes,
she
we see
does
her. Yeah.
have the like pink cat hat thing on.
Mhm.
I don't know why they didn't just give it to
I
her in
don't
the
know
front.
why.
Well, kids won't watch it if she's got a silly hat on.
What are you talking about? Kids will watch it because of the silly
Right.
hair.
Yeah, I don't. That part of it, I just hope they don't get rid of that for her
Right.
because
I just hope it's not
it's
one
one of
like a
her
one instance where
endearing
she wears it.
quirks, you
Yes.
know.
I just hope
And
that
it's
she wears it more than once.
right. It's already a bummer that they made her not a kid.
Yeah.
That was an important aspect of about her is that she's way younger than the rest of them.
Should have
They're all
been.
teenagers that have teenager problems, and she is like 12 or whatever.
Preteen.
She's a preteen. Like her perspective on every adventure they have is different because they're like macking on boys and stuff, and she's like, I'm not interested in
Yeah,
any of
like
this. I'm
whatever.
12.
Yeah.
And
You
I
know
just
what's
found
funny
that
though?
interesting.
If the actress was actually still very young, but she's just bigger.
I think she is young, but I just don't think that there's any way that her being 15 is the same as her being
Oh, absolutely.
11.
3 years is a complete
Yeah,
difference.
it's
Yeah.
very, very different
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Um, so
How is a trailer though? The teaser trailer. Even it was a leak. What did you take from that? Did you
the
are you
setup
pumped?
of it,
Yeah.
of them discovering what their parents are up to and all that stuff is exactly how it is in the book. So that part of it, I'm like, fuck yeah, that looks exactly
Yeah,
like I
right.
imagined it.
Right.
But I just don't think there's any way because that's just them in a room
Yep.
discovering there's an extra room. That's one
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
But when they find out what's behind all that veil and there's 3 fucking giant creatures with huge feet that are all like part of this book thing, and they're massive. They're like giant man-sized creatures.
They didn't show them there, did they, in the trailer?
No.
No, they just showed the parents doing.
Even gonna be in this fucking series
Yeah,
if
I
it's on
don't know.
TV?
They
Like
could.
the
They could have the
Runaways
budget
have
all for that.
maybe, but the Runaways have like a machine frog that they
Right.
use as a vehicle to get from place to place that literally
nope.
leapfrogs around. They have a time machine. They have the Gert character with the
Yeah.
purple hair has a
got a-
pet fucking raptor that she
Yeah, that's-
controls telepathically.
That's not
I
happening.
didn't see that shit in the
No,
trailer.
that's not happening.
So I'm just like, how much of this is going to be drastically adapted? I don't know, because the only things that they hinted at was like Molly's eyes turning pink, because that's what happens when she uses her super strength.
Yeah.
And the Carolina girl had colors coming off her hands because she turns into like a colorful rainbow fucking raincorn person.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. That's kind of all they teased on what happens. I don't think I saw the Staff of One in the trailer,
Nope,
but
I didn't see the
I
staff
watched
either.
it once.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what to expect.
It's
but
Hulu, correct?
yeah, it's Hulu. It's a
Hulu's
Hulu.
also doing Cloak and Dagger, right?
No,
Was it
that
not
one's
Hulu?
like ABC Family
okay, my bad. I thought it was
or
Hulu also.
Freeform.
See, because they're outsourcing everything at this point.
Right.
It's still all Marvel, though, right?
It's still all Marvel. It's still all Marvel Television.
Is Legion Marvel Television?
Legion is in association with Marvel Television.
Okay, see, but that's it's so confusing
because
that in association
it's still a Fox property.
I get that.
Just Marvel Television is participating in it.
I just wonder if the difference is Marvel Television or in association with. Like, what difference does it make? Like, does that mean less contribution? Does that mean they just like overseeing but not really involved fully?
Okay, so it says it's in association with Marvel Television, but it's still a Fox property because it's an X-Men thing.
Okay, yep. Because the effects on that is quite good.
Right.
It's good that the effects are good because it's on the FX network.
Mm-hmm.
But that is 8 episodes. I think it was 8 episodes, something like that. How many episodes is Runaways, did they say?
No clue.
Did they say how many episodes Cloak and Dagger is as well?
No clue. I mean, just those little that picture is really all we're supposed to know right now about Runaways.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to see that other thing.
Right. So
that's saying something. But I mean, a new show, cool. I just hope. It's weird, like shows.
I hope it's as cool as the comic, because the comic is great.
Okay, that's your.
But a lot of the comic's greatness to me is one, the writing, because Brian K. Vaughan, super great writer, great at dialogue, and the other part was Adrian Alphona. His art was really specific to him and really unique.
It made the book something.
And it grew with the book. You can see the characters get older as he's drawing that book longer. So I don't know if the story changed up to fit television will work as well as it did in the comic. But we'll see. I'm excited to see if it works.
Just your mention of, dinosaur, the leapfrog. I don't know. Those two things I'm just like not even expecting to see them at this point. So if they appear, sweet.
Yeah, if they show up, I will be stoked. But I also just want to see if it still feels like Runaways without some of that stuff.
Right. Like, those aren't... Do you feel that those are major factors?
I think the dinosaur is a major factor. Because it's a character. It's their Scooby, basically. And it's directly connected to Gert, who is like telepathically linked to her. If that thing feels pain, she feels pain.
How about if they change it to another animal, like a dog?
It wouldn't have the same significance, because the whole reason she has a raptor is because her parents are time travelers who've gotten her a raptor through their various exploits throughout time and space.
Could it have been something else? Another
it can be something else, but it's just it's never going to be as cool as a big ass pet raptor. It's not gonna,
It's
nothing's
like
going to be
we
as
got
cool as that.
a saber-toothed tiger.
I don't know why that would be
I
easier,
don't know either.
but fur is probably harder to do than reptile.
Maybe.
But
Unless they
either
do a
way,
feather, but we got
I hope
that.
they figure something out because
Right, because it's a fact. It's a major player in the book.
it
Again, you
is.
said it's the second half of Gert.
Right.
So,
So, yeah, I hope they figure it out. I mean, her code. I don't know if they're gonna have their like code name thing because they all made themselves code names in the
of
book.
course.
And her and the dinosaur are Arsenic and Old Lace. So that reference and the dinosaur's name of Old Lace only makes sense if they are together and they have this scene where they come up with names for each other.
Okay.
So I'm like, are they going to do that for all of them? Is Molly going to call herself Princess Powerful, even though she's like 15 now instead of?
Saying that now, it doesn't really suit what the character looks like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is
Why did
this?
they go with that old though?
I think it's just because child actors are difficult to schedule around and work
get
with because they
that.
have limited like set
Schedule,
hours.
yeah, that's true, But it just changes the dynamics of.
It does,
It
and
changes.
that
It
part of
shifts the
stuff.
dynamic because now they look roughly all similar in age.
And it's like it's not as adorable because like
Yeah.
Molly's whole thing is her eyes glow. She uses her super strength and she's as strong as the Thing or some shit like that.
Right.
But then as soon as she uses it, she falls asleep. She goes, "Oh, I'm sleepy," and she just takes a nap wherever she's
All right.
at.
This is
And
weird.
that's adorable.
Right?
They
This
can
is
pick
weird
her up and
because
take her.
okay, she looks older than she's
Right.
supposed to be, and you said
Right.
the whole child actor thing.
Right.
We don't know the amount of episodes that they've done, but
Mhm.
they managed to get child actors for Stranger Things.
For sure.
So it's doable.
It's doable, but it's something that you have to go. There's child actors for here, so we have to balance this out. Like Stranger Things is not just a show about those three kids.
I get that, but
We have the three kids for these days. The other days we have the teenager cast. We have the old people cast. Runaways, it's pretty much just those teenage kids and the people that are chasing them.
I guess. Still,
So
hopefully, we'll see more stuff. We'll see a clearer view of the trailer soon.
hopefully, and hopefully we get some info about what we're gonna expect as far as characters and whatnot.
And how many episodes? Like, the general information.
Because this will be the first Hulu original that I think I will stick around for. Like I watched a bit of Deadbeat, but that was kind of it.
But that's
I
comedy.
like Deadbeat, but I didn't watch any of the newer seasons.
It's not available yet. It wasn't available. I watched it on Stan here.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Right. Last up.
So this is an official release. We got the first trailer for the Defender series on Netflix. We finally get to see them all interacting with each other and get a hint of the story and stuff. And it looks cool, man.
I like it. I like it. I was like, yes, this is what we waited for. This is the television
I liked
Avengers.
the callback when you see Danny Rand meet Luke Cage. Yeah. They did a callback to the Luke Cage series trailer where they showed the guy punch Luke in his hand, fucking like rip and shatter. Mm-hmm. And they did a similar thing, but now it was the Iron Fist hitting him and actually Luke Cage rippling
his face
from
was
the punch.
Going weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, he actually got hit.
So I'm like, that kind of stuff, that's neat to see them do. I wanted to ask you about this actually, because I've seen a lot of like pundits that are not pundits, but people online talking about this shit, the trailer once it was released. And a lot of people had the stance of like, the new Defenders trailer puts Iron Fist in his place, and all this stuff like the trailer basically is shitting on Iron Fist because of the reaction to the series. And it's super weird to me that people look for that kind of petty tone to the trailer anyway.
Did you see
that? But it's also like, no, because I didn't see that feedback until after I had seen the trailer.
When you watched the trailer, did you see? Is that what you got?
Not at all.
Because that's what. As soon as you were saying, I was like, I think they got equal amount of bloody, screen time in that trailer alone. Like, this is who we are.
Right.
This is it.
Because they were saying like they made Danny out to be the bitch of the team,
He's the
and
youngest one.
but I don't think that makes him the bitch.
No, not at all. If
Like
anything,
they call him kid, and they
Yep.
have the scene where he tries to hit Luke, and then Luke just smacks him down or
Right.
whatever.
But then he also,
But-
right after that, punched him in the
Right,
face.
but then he punches him in the face with the fucking iron
yeah,
fist.
and he got like knocked.
Right, so I'm like, I don't see that they made him the bitch. They
No.
clearly made him the kid of the group, but
He's the youngest.
that's just the dynamic he's
right,
gonna have. He's
exactly.
the youngest.
He's the junior.
Right, so
Of all
I
of them,
don't.
he's the junior.
That seemed bizarre to me that people were finding that tone and running with that story like they punked him out or whatever. And I was like, first of all, they started filming this shit immediately after they were filming Iron Fist,
Yeah.
so they didn't know what the feedback
No,
was
not
yet.
at all.
They filmed all this shit. It was way
Also,
out.
saying that, wouldn't it be very weird for the production to even lessen a character like
Right.
that? To even, I guess you say, punk him out, make him a bitch.
Right.
Would
Mhm.
an actual production make a character a bitch?
No.
One of the main team members.
Yeah,
a
how does
bitch?
that benefit
That's what I'm
anyone?
saying. Like, that benefits nobody.
Right.
That
So,
seems
yeah,
that
it
seems
seems silly.
completely ludicrous to me. For them
It
to
was
even
real
say
bizarre.
that. I watched the trailer a couple times, and I'm just like, give me this now. We're
Yeah,
getting
I'm
this
excited
year.
for it.
Like,
And it
I
comes
mean-
out August. I thought it wasn't supposed to come out till
August?
September. Yeah.
I'm there.
So yeah, I'm good
we're
to go.
marathoning that.
Excited. Oh yeah, it's only 8 episodes. We're gonna
Yeah,
crush that
that's
shit.
done. That's a done deal.
Yeah, man.
I thought October. Damn, we don't have to wait that long.
No, I'm excited.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I'm down. The trailer looked good.
They're
I like
still
them all.
working in that Nirvana music.
I'm fine
Sounded
with whatever.
good.
Man. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. They look great together too.
The fighting looks better from
Yeah.
the little we get to see of it. It
Mhm.
looks better. It seems very Daredevil heavy.
Good. I think they got
Stick,
that
they
team
got
to do it
Elektra.
instead. Yep.
Right. We still don't know what the deal is with Sigourney,
No.
but I'm excited to see what the
Yeah.
deal is.
It's cool that she's in here. It's dope.
Yeah.
Sign me up, man. I'm like, again, like I know there's things wrong. There's things, there's a lot of positive, there's a lot of negatives of the shows, but
Right.
altogether, there's still the shows that I'm sticking with. I mean,
Mm.
more so than all the other shows that are out right now.
Right, and I've heard a lot of people going back now and being like, now that it's been a couple months, I didn't like Luke Cage and
Yeah.
Jessica Jones was boring. I'm seeing a lot of that stuff lately.
And I'm like, that's cool, man. You can think that way too, and that's fine. It's perfectly okay to not like something.
And it's fine to change your mind. It's fine
Absolutely.
to change your mind. But it just
People-
seems weird to me that the narrative in the ether of
Right.
nerd culture has become like the Netflix series suck
I know,
after a
yep.
certain amount of episodes and they all need to be shorter. And it would be one thing I think if that happened organically, but I literally feel like
Everyone's saying it at the same
everyone
time.
started
Yep.
saying it and they're using the exact same terminology. It's like
Yep.
everyone's just reading articles where
And that's
people
the
say that
problem,
shit and
dude.
they go, that's my opinion now.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. Like, I watched after Guardians. You're gonna watch it tomorrow, so you'll know soon. We'll probably record it as soon as we you watch it because I've been waiting to bloody talk about it. But
Right.
after I watched it the first time, I decided, okay, I'll see some reviews
Right.
because I know what I feel about it.
Uh,
I want to know what others took from it. Now, I watched some of their reviews and I'm like, the way they describe it is they walked into it expecting Guardians 1.
okay.
Right. And because of that, it was only okay. Or, whatever the reviews
Right.
were.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people say it's like it's not as good as the first one, but
See?
it's still good.
I would
Or I've heard people say that they had more problems with it than they had positives with it. So, but I've also heard people say I liked it better than the first one. This time they got to really jump
Right.
into the story because you already know everyone. And
That's
yada yada.
exactly like. See, I come from the perspective of I want a sequel, I don't want the same thing.
Right.
And so because I walked into it with that in mind, I got exactly what I wanted.
Okay.
And I saw some of their points of views, and I'm like, I can see it, but I don't agree why that's a negative.
Right. Like, I've heard people say that it focused too much on Star-Lord or yada yada. And all that stuff is fine, but I'm like, he's the captain or whatever. He's like the main fucking character. They focused on him in the first one as well.
Right.
So
he's the one that you follow because he's the human.
Right. And we had the whole mystery of who his parentage is, so why wouldn't they solve that mystery in the second movie?
Anyway,
but
we'll discuss that.
whatever. I don't know. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm not expecting it to be better or worse than the first movie. I'm just expecting another Guardian story.
Oh,
it's like, I don't read comics and every comic go, that comic was good, but it wasn't as good as issue 4 or whatever. I'm just like, oh shit, new Spider-Man issue. I'm gonna read it.
That's the thing. I'm like, it's treated so differently.
Right.
Same as television. It's treated so differently. Like that episode was fine. That episode was shit. But in the long run, essentially, a series is a bunch of sequels.
Right.
Of films put together, right? That's how I see it anyway. So it's like a bigger arc, somewhat of a larger arc. That's obviously expanding a lot longer in time and stuff. Yeah. One could be not as good as the next, but then to completely go, that was completely shit. You're watching part of a story.
Right.
That's still somewhat of like, it's a larger arc, but it's kind of the adventure that sits in there. All I know is that people were a little harsh on it. Like, some of the reviews, not even harsh, just like, man, it was okay. Well, it's like, that's cool, I guess.
Right. It's just so blasé about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, how are you, like, do you realize that we're getting these films like this? That's why I want to love the DC movies. Because I want to love them. I hate the fact that I'm not even happy about them.
Well, next month we get Wonder Woman, so we'll have this conversation again.
We should be happy about them. We're getting these in the big screen.
Right.
We should be like, this is a time to be alive. I know, you know, lots of crazy shit's going down, but when hasn't crazy shit gone down?
Yeah. But I'm excited for Guardians just because I've now already invested in the characters.
Yes, absolutely.
And I want to see where they were gonna go next. And I know that this next one is not supposed to be the last time that we see them. So I'm not expecting the crescendo of the Guardian story, and this is the most epic thing they've ever been in, yada yada.
Do you know, like, this film doesn't exactly, like, I think Collider a couple days ago, maybe they released, like 5 things you need to know before watching Guardians or some shit like that. I was like, I watched it after the fact, and I was like, why would you even say that?
Why would you need to know that?
Yeah, like, those things are told in the film. If you watch the film and are paying attention, you'll understand these things appear. Like, why would you bother letting people know before watching the film?
Right, like,
it seemed so pointless.
By now we already know who, for example, who Stallone's playing.
Yes.
But we still in the US side, because it's not out here yet. We know zero about why that character's in the movie, how he relates to anyone else other than maybe he knows Yondu or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that, but I feel like I don't want to watch a bunch of videos explaining every character before I go see it, because I want to just experience it.
I saw that video. I was like, this was pointless.
Right.
Like, but not just pointless, but also spoilery.
Right.
Like, this is.
But maybe some people need that kind of info to be interested, because they just go, the Guardians are fighting a giant starfish. I have no idea what the story's about. Maybe that will help those kinds of people. But for me, I already know I'm going to go see it, so I don't need that.
Right, that's why I was like, if you weren't already pulled in by the first film,
right?
then why would you just watch a sequel?
You know, maybe some people just want to jump right into the current one, get on the hype train now. They didn't watch the first one.
That's
Who knows, man?
crazy
You
to
know,
me, man. That's
either
crazy.
way, I'll see it tomorrow, and then we can have
Defenders
this
looks dope.
conversation again. Defenders looks
Guardians
great.
2, I loved it. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
We'll
properly
talk about
soon.
it proper. I'm gonna watch it again Saturday, hopefully.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then it'll be fresh on your mind when we talk about
Well,
it, and then
actually, Saturday
we can
evenings.
we can discuss these
We'll have to
5
record it Sunday then,
post-credit
which is your
scenes.
Monday. So that's the problem.
What?
Because I'm watching it Saturday here, which is it's your Saturday day.
Well, we don't have to wait till you see it. I'm seeing that shit
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah. Oh, so yeah. We can record. Actually, no, I don't know if we can because I'll be probably.
We'll
preparing
figure
for
it
free
out,
Yeah, we'll
my
figure it
dude. We'll figure it
out.
out.
Yeah, five post credits, so you'll see that.
Yeah.
I want you to really pay attention though, because
Come on,
This-
who are you talking to?
I
Do you think
know,
I'm not going to be paying
just
attention?
there's a lot of things. There's certain things that don't even happen in the post credit. There's certain things in the film where it's deep. This is deep.
I'm gonna
cuts,
be, dude. I promise. I'm gonna be looking. I'm gonna be looking.
This film is so deep cuts. I love it so much because of that too. Just they expanded.
I want to see. I know there's a certain thing that I want to see that I don't even want to ask you if it's there, because if you say no, I will be disappointed. But if you say yes, I'll be like, it'll be a spoiler, but I'll be excited. So
I just
I'll
can't wait
just-
to talk about one particular thing, and I'm like, cool. All
after I see it, if that character is in the movie,
Yeah.
then we'll be able to have a conversation about it.
Sweet.
But
cool.
I just feel like he's probably not there, but if he is there, we'll be tight. So we'll figure it out then.
It's cool. This film is great. I loved it so much. Anyway, that's it for episode 83. I was going to say 43. I was going to say 43.
No. 83. All right. Well, then, if that is it, until the next one, guys, stay chipper chaps.
Say Chipper.
Hashtag.
What up, Chipper Chat? This is Chipper Chat Chat. What up, Chipper Chat? This is Chipper Chat Chat. What up, Chipper Chat? This is Chipper Chat Chat. What up, Chipper Chat? This is Chipper Chat Chat.